Just bringing up my live stream here, folks, so bear with me. Just like to make sure I can see the chat. Alright, looks like I'm streaming. That's awesome. Alright, I think we are good to go. So I'll just give it about 30 seconds. I'm going to grab my drink. While I'm sick, there's no better drink in the world than Pepsi Max. Hey, cool. We got Jade and James 104. How are you, man? From California. Thanks for dropping in. Let me know where you're from, folks. I'm still under the weather, so apologies for my crappy voice still. I still sound like I'm blocked up big time, but we got RMG. How are you, man? Miguel, sorry, from Mexico. Quinton, how are you, man? Got Sword Music, Guitar Gods and Guns. That's an interesting name, I like it. We've got Nico from the Philippines, how are you, man? Oh man, we've got heaps of folks here already, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. From Canada, Chicago, Indiana, Costa Rica. Awesome, man. Costa Rica, I think you pronounce that. Sorry, that was really bad pronunciation. We've got Todd from Florida. How are you, man? Sunny Sydney. Awesome. It's probably better than it is outside here. So I thought I'd take like 20 minutes and while I'm like still hacking up crap out of my throat here, go ahead and show you this. It just arrived. I literally haven't even touched the box. I thought this might be kind of exciting because I haven't done a live unboxing for a long time. I'm just going to move the camera up a little bit more. Sorry guys, just bear with me one sec. I reckon that'll be a bit better. Yeah, cool. Ahmad Kareem, how are you, man? Alright, Iowa, Boulder Creek, California, Dallas, Texas. Awesome. So in the US, my biggest audience base is California, Florida, Texas, and what's the other one? I've forgotten. I used to know them off the top of my head, but yeah, it's kind of like spread out. It might actually be New York, to be honest, but I can't remember. So what's in the box? Yeah. So this just arrived. You know my Little Crow electric guitar that I've played on a million videos? You know what? I did a gig the other week with it, and the tone was so good. And every time I play that guitar, I say to myself, I should use it more. It sounds amazing. So Little Crow have just sent me this. And this is just like, this won't become mine, I don't think. But basically, this is their one of their new designs. It's a little bit different. My Little Crow guitar has a mini humbucker in the neck and a Telecaster bridge pickup. And I believe this one is a dual humbucker. But it's different. It actually looks different. Now, I can't flip this box over towards the camera because it's got my address on it. So let me just take the lid off. Let's hope this works. Here we go. So you put some extra packaging in here. That's all right. These boxes are actually quite cool. They got the, you know, they're fitted really nicely. Anyway, I'll keep that this time, Dave and Viv. Every time they send me a guitar, I don't have a lot of room at my place, and I end up holding onto the guitar for like 3 months, and I think I'll throw the box out. I won't need it again, and then I need it again. So I'll hold on to that one. Yeah, also, I should let you know too, Guitar Search Saturday, I'm going to have to put it off for another few days. I can't do the voiceover at the moment. It sounds ridiculous. So, evening from Boston, that's Peter, / Joe Allen. And Boogeyman guitar. What, no case? Nah. Like, it's just more cost effective for them just to ship me in a box, and I understand that. I got plenty of cases here anyway, so. Ooh, yeah. Oh man, it smells good. Oh. Alright, I already know he's put the pickup way too high in the front. I'll have to bring that down. But otherwise, it looks pretty much the business. Check that out. So I'll let that focus for a sec. Yeah, it's got a huge neck. I like guitars with big necks, as in big, as in deep. So it smells new. So that's the back. It's got the plate there. So essentially we have two humbuckers. Nice simple configuration. I think it's volume and tone. And then this is a four-way switch. So I think you get neck, both, bridge, and then like both out of phase or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. I've got my little Bugera amp set up. They sent me a broken one. It's left-handed. Yeah, you could be right. So I'm definitely going to have to bring that neck pickup down. It's actually, I don't know if it moved in shipping or what, but no, it hasn't. It's just a bit too high. It's I might have to do that before I plug it in, actually. Give me one sec, guys. Just getting the screwdriver. Hopefully it's this simple as most guitar pickups are. Oh yeah, I can see the screw's not in right. Hopefully I can do this. Doing it on the fly. Alright, I may have to... damn. I may have to tinker with it. Dave, what did you do? What did you do to the pickup? I reckon the spring has come out. Thing is, it's come all the way from Perth to where I live in Melbourne, and that's the equivalent of going from, like, you know, New York to Cleveland or something. So, sorry, from LA to Cleveland. So, yeah, it's quite a big drive, but yeah, it's just that little bit. Look, it'll probably still work. Let's plug it in. We'll see. We'll see if it works. I just don't like the pickups quite that close to the strings. Yeah, it's right out. There we go. Let's tune it up. While I'm tuning, I will check the comments. How does pickup height change anything? So, basically, depending on how high the pickups are, will depend on not only how much tops and lows you get in your signal. You can have the treble side of the pickup up higher to get more treble, or have the bass side down further to get less bass. Already I can tell the treble side on the neck pickup's too high, but it's just it feels like the spring might have gone in there, so I'm going to have a bit of a tinker after I do the live stream. But let's plug it in. Let's see what happens. Alright, let me grab a cable. Not the most organised here today. I just got all excited that it turned up. Woo! Alright, let me turn that down. I got the Stardust overdrive pedal on as well. Yeah, that neck pickup is too high. Actually, you've probably heard it choke out a bit. It's actually touching the pickup when I push down here. I'll have to fix that. Neck pickup. Yeah, you can hear it choking out. Sounds pretty good. So that's neck. That actually sounds like bridge pickup in second position. That's out of phase something. And I wonder if that's both pickups. I'm going to have to ask him, because I don't think there's any note with the guitar. Look, I think he may have actually told me, but yeah, it looks cool. I like the headstock looks good. The neck feels great. It's got Wilkinson tuners, which I think is different to what I've got on the other little crow. Yeah, I mean, tone-wise, it sounds pretty cool. I don't know how that's coming up on the video, folks. I've got my microphone on the floor in front of me here, and the amp's kind of around the corner here, so it hopefully doesn't kill the mic. But does it have a 0 fret? I'm not too sure what you mean, man. I don't know that term. Sorry. It has a PRS vibe going on. Yeah, I guess it does. Kind of shape-wise, it does. Yeah. I think the thing about Little Crow guitars is I don't know if he cuts these via, like, they're not like CNC cut or whatever you want to call it, like a machine that comes down and just cuts it for him. Like, I think he works from templates, but they're not, you know, every one of them might vary slightly. That's my understanding of it. So I like this bridge. This bridge is really cool. I'll zoom in on that. You can check it out. Check this out. Sort of get a better understanding of like how it looks. I'll move this towards the sun, and yeah. So yeah, essentially 4-way. Oops, I'm doing this in reverse. 4-way toggle switch here, which is interesting. Something a little different. The pots roll on as backwards. Being a lefty, I'm used to that. He actually asked me which way I prefer. I said just keep it the same as the Little Crow already had, just so I don't get confused. And yeah, so the bridge looks pretty hardcore. I haven't seen one of these before, but it's actually got rollers on here as opposed to... Let's see if we can get even closer. Alright, I think that's going to work. So yeah, as you can see, there's like rollers on here as opposed to like a, I guess, a regular type of bridge. So that's interesting. And check out all the pilling on my black top. Awesome. This is my gym top, so yeah, I probably shouldn't have worn it on the camera, but anyway. So yeah, the pickups look good, but as you can see from this angle, there's not a whole lot of clearance between the string and the front pickup, so I'll fix that, and then we should be good to go. It might just be the spring came loose. I'm not 100% certain about that, but the other one's fine. This one just doesn't have any give, which leads me to believe that the spring has sort of popped out. It just feels like it's, yeah, it doesn't feel the same as that. I would expect the humbucker to move just a little bit. But yeah, so that's the neck up close. Check that out. I love the little medallion on the headstock. I think that's a really great touch. Oh yeah, I just wondered if that was the camera, but there's two little dots on the headstock. Oh, it looks like it's part of the neck. Interesting. So yeah, there's nothing much else on the back. Bolt-on neck, and yeah. So it sounds cool. I just got to definitely fix up that whole, you know, the issue with the front pickup, and we're good to go. To save a lot, like shipping in Australia is ridiculous, and we found a good company, but they do it via road freight. It takes like 10 to 13 days of sitting in a truck under other parcels. So I reckon something must have pushed on that and popped it out. I'll take the strings off and have a fiddle around. But yeah, so far I like the sound of it. Yeah, cool. Love the way the knobs and switches are aligned. That's an interesting point. Yeah, you know what? I didn't notice that until you pointed it out. So instead of having I guess, a typical Telecaster plate where everything's in a line, and he's done it like that, but a little bit different. My initial thought about it, and this is just first thought, is the switch and the tone control. I would probably prefer to have this either here, oh, maybe not actually, that would get in the way of strumming, but probably up here, or even maybe down there, just out of the way from the tone control, because I don't ever use a tone control. But that said, this guitar is not built specifically for me, so well, at least I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, that would just have to, your initial thought would be, the first thing would be where you switch, you know, pickups, but having it there is different, so it might just be something I get used to. It's got a lot of tension on the pot as well, which feels good. I don't think you'll ever knock it and turn it by accident. Nah, no way. You've got to want to change it. So that almost sounds like single coil. Yeah, sweet. I'll take a couple of questions if there's any there about the guitar or whatever. And yeah, I won't be hanging around too long today, guys. My throat feels like burning. It sucks. What camera am I using? I want one. It's a Canon XA20. It's the one I've used on my channel now for the last 3 years or so, or maybe longer. I use this one straight into my other streaming computer because I can just HDMI straight in and use a remote. I recently upgraded to some Sony cameras which aren't as good as these. They're good because they're 4K, the new ones, but they don't have a remote like this. You have to use an app, and I hate all that stuff. I'd much rather have a physical remote control. I think it's just a great thing. So if I ever upgrade again, I'll be getting like the newer version of these. I think these are awesome. How much are these? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. This is the first one. So head over to littlecrowguitars.com and maybe Dave will have some prices up, or you can punch in Little Crow Guitars on, excuse me guys, on Facebook, and you can check them out there as well. But in terms of weight, it feels about the same as my other Little Crow. So about the same as probably my Telecaster. It's not too heavy and it's not super light. It's kind of right in the middle. It's not like a Les Paul, and it's not quite as light as my Strat. It's kind of that middle ground. So yeah, I got to say, he's done a really great job on the frets. I think the frets are actually a step up from what I've seen on prior guitars. And I love my Little Crow Corvino. You know, I put a lot of ideas into that, and I love it. But this, already I can tell the frets are better. Yeah, I like the neck just feels familiar, and that's the good thing about these Little Crows. Like, you pick up some guitars and you think, it doesn't feel like anything I've played before, and I'm struggling. The thing I like about Little Crow is I pick them up and they feel like guitars I've played for years. Yeah, position 2 is probably my favorite. That's not a 0 fret, it's an optical illusion. I'm not sure what you mean by 0 fret, guys, but what's the body made of? So, oh, geez, sorry computer. Little Crow uses all Australian woods. Let me see if I can bring up some info while we're doing this. I'll see if he's got anything on the website right now. I know on Facebook he posted some photos. I just have a hard time remembering stuff the last couple of weeks because I've been a bit out of action, being sick and all the rest of that. So Let me see if he's got one. No, I don't know. I don't think there's any on the website right now. But I'm guessing it looks to be the same type of wood materials as used on the Little Crow. So let me have a look. Oh, on the other Little Crow, I mean, I've got the Corvino. At least visually, that's what it looks like. Here we go. Let me see if he's... Mountain Ash, semi-hollow with white binding. Obviously, this isn't semi-hollow, but that's the other Little Crow. The next Mountain Ash with a hard rock maple fretboard. So yeah, Mountain Ash is the wood, judging by what I can tell. It's interesting to see a metal plate on the back too. That was kind of unexpected, but you know, it doesn't look bad. The other one I've got actually just has a piece of wood there. I guess the piece of wood that was grouted out or something. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Alright. A 0 fret is a fret right below the nut. Nut. So that's it. There's just the nut and then the first fret. That's just probably, I don't know, it might look like there's something there, but there's not. It's just the way the wood tapers kind of diagonally down. And that's another improvement too over some of the blues planks. There's more space before you get to the headstock, and I like that because I felt like on the blues planks, which isn't my Corvino, it's another guitar his. You could kind of like you felt like you were going to hit the tuning pegs with your fingers. Whereas on this, you know, F and E, you're never going to go, you know, you can't actually go too far back, which is good. So yeah, it's a pretty nice tone. Yeah, so there we go. I don't even know its name. Dave did send me the name of the guitar and all that, but I got excited and I thought I'd just jump straight on YouTube and show you folks what's going on. So yeah, the amp I'm running through is the Bugera V5 Infinium amp. It's all stock. And the overdrive pedal I'm using is it's called the Stardust from Crazy Tube Circuits. I just did a demo of it. It's a Greek company, pedal company, and they make awesome stuff. And I really dig it. So yeah, so there we go. Does it darken as I roll the volume off? Good question. Now, there's obviously a treble bleed circuit in there, judging by the way that sounds. The volume's nearly all the way off. Oh, it is all the way off. Yeah, all the tops are still there. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely fix that pickup, so I'm going to go ahead and do that today. The spring has definitely popped out. I reckon something was crushing the box in transport because there's no reason that would happen. The back pickup looks fine, so I reckon there must have been something pushing down on it. I saw the truck when it turned up and he had a whole lot of boxes out on the ground, so that's not a good sign. Yeah, cool. Well, there we go. Thanks, folks. Thanks for hanging out. And the chicken head knob always looks way cool. Thanks, Edgar. Yeah, it's you know, it's got a unique sort of vibe. I'm kind of getting into weird guitars, and I'm not going to say this is a weird guitar, but the fact is, I love playing my Little Crow. I love playing that new Maton as well. Just visually, it looks awesome. And this is just something different. You know, there's something to be said for weird, you know, not obscure, as in like it doesn't look like a rifle or a or a whatever. But it's something to be said for good guitars that are just absolutely different. And I think that's why I like the Duesenberg guitars so much as well, and the Nick Huber guitars, is because they're like different and they play and sound great. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a thumbs up already. In terms of tone, I just need to make sure I can fix that pickup, and then I'll do the demo and maybe shoot some other pedal demos whenever they turn up on it as well. I'm definitely going to take this out live. I'm going to see Chris Kane tonight as well, who's my favourite blues player. He's from San Francisco, from the Bay Area, and he's an absolute monster. Tommy Castro and Robin Ford call him the baddest dude in blues, and in a good way. So basically, yeah, he's playing locally in Melbourne, and I'm planning on trying to stream it on Facebook tonight. So I'm going to have about 4 cold and flu tablets and get out there and watch it. And if I can, I'll try and stream it. So if you're into great blues playing, jump on my Facebook page and I'll stream it from there. It's a lot easier for me to stream to Facebook via a phone than it is to do it to YouTube. A lot more reliable too. So yeah. Alright guys, well, Kevin says, how is the truss rod accessed? I'm tipping it's actually probably not the easiest way, but it would be under here. That's how a lot of guitars are done, that you take the neck off, and yeah, it's probably a little more frustrating like that, but it might have been easier to make. I don't know the specifics of why companies would do that over. Like my Maton's from in there as well. I have to take off this plate and grab a wrench and literally turn it left and right. It's not an Allen key one, so yeah, that's interesting. Good point. I didn't really notice that until you mentioned it. But I already know, like, it plays great. I think it's going to be one of those, much like a Strat or a Tele. You know, you put a heavier set of strings on by 1 gauge heavier, and it's not going to really throw too much out if it already plays well. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, well, there we go. I'll go ahead and fix up this pickup because something's definitely not right. I reckon the spring's popped out. Judging by what I could tell from that screw, something's definitely a miss there. But yeah, I'll sort that out. Alright guys, alright, last question. Michael says, what was the biggest problem with the Two-Rock Studio Pro? Just bought a Studio Pro 50. I did a full review of that at guitarpedaldemos.com. You can type in Two-Rock review on there. Just to cover it quickly, I think I like 6L6 sounds better. You said you got the 50. If I was to buy another one, I'd probably get a 50 or higher. I like that particular sound more than the 6V6 sound. I also felt like it was never quite toppy enough. It was just toppy in not a way that was enjoyable to my ear. But they're great amps, you know, like nothing wrong with them. Alright dudes, well, rock on, and yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you soon. And then, like I said, jump on my Facebook stream today too. Later on, it'll be in about, what time is it now? 1 o'clock. So I think he goes on at like 8 o'clock or something PM. So another 7 hours or so. Maybe 8 hours from now, just somewhere around there. And yeah, you can, hopefully, all being well, I can stream the gig to Facebook and you can watch it. You know, he's a monster player. He's like my guitar hero, I reckon, currently. I've gone through a few over the years, but Chris Kane's like, he's amazing. So check him out. C-A-I-N. Just punch in his name, Chris Kane, into YouTube, and enjoy the blues. All right, guys, we'll rock on. And yeah, if I didn't answer your question, leave it on the video once it processes, and I'll get back to you. Cheers.